Hey everyone, welcome to Davos. Daniel Newman here, back again, and joined, by the way, first time, brought my bestie with me, Patrick Moorhead. You're here, first time, first experience. I mean, what are you thinking? Take it all in.
Yeah, so listen, Daniel, I know I have given this event, World Economic Forum, a lot of grief prior, but I have to tell you, when it comes to the combination of meeting with senior leaders in tech, with governments and finance, this is the best event for that. And we're all in one place. We are literally on one street here in Davos, Switzerland, to be able to do that. And you know, a lot of geopolitical things happening. I mean, you know, today a new president's getting sworn in. You know, I want to read the room at Davos on tech, generative AI, all the above.
Yeah, it's a big transition year, Pat. I mean, look, the last few years it's been all AI. Remember, this show was big on sustainability. We've seen a fairly significant rollback on these diversity programs that really had sort of taken the helm of a lot of technology company strategies.
Right.
And you walk down the street here, and I mean, right behind us you see Microsoft. We got consulting firms like Kearney right in front of us, SAP down the road,
right.
EY. And if you go down the road, it's like every one of these houses. It's Qualcomm, it's Intel, it's Dell, it's you know, it's Workday, it's Facebook, Meta.
Right.
Got to get that right. But I mean, this really does bring the constituency of tech and basically all the companies that are sort of driving the implementation of this AI transformation and bringing it to the industries.
Yeah, Dan, you hit it spot on. And it's not that, you know, sustainability isn't important. It's really a reordering of the discussion.
Right.
I saw a lot of overtones even so far that it gets back to maybe where we were 7 or 8 years ago, which was, look at all the money we can save in power, and oh, by the way, it's amazing for the environment.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that here, a flipping of the order. I mean, if you look at the onerous energy costs, and then if you look at the demand for energy, whether it's from EVs, whether it's from hyperscaler data centers to train, you know, the next 2 or 3 generations of models, we just don't have enough electricity, and now water comes into play to be able to cool these data centers.
Yeah, there's a lot of very interesting stuff, and you know, we've done some really interesting research. You know, you and I both as analysts, you know, we sometimes wear that that media hat as, you know, analysts creating media, but we're also researchers, and we do a lot of that. We spend time with a lot of CEOs. We spend time doing a lot of research. Some of the research we've done is like, this is going to be the year, at least as I see it, of agentic. Right, we're hearing all about agents. Well, what are agents? Basically the ability to take AI and create hyper scale of your business by being able to maximize and automate all these processes. Pat, we identified that we think there's about $4 trillion of cost that can be taken out of the labor pool to drive the future of agentic. So that's like one of the things I'm really interested in kind of listening to here. The other one here is hearing how CEOs are thinking about implementing. You know, we've seen these historic transformations. Remember the big data one that went on? I don't think it was a super successful one. Then there was digital transformation, analog transformation that happened.
Inside joke, folks.
Inside joke, and you got to watch the show if you want to get all the way inside. But the digital transformation, again, board CEOs held on to things too tight. We're seeing it again with AI. You know, I want to hear a little bit about, you know, how are we going to make sure AI is successful? Because you and I both know chips, infrastructure, service providers, but where's the consumption? I mean, big deal.
Yeah, and this is particularly on the enterprise side. I mean, you know, let's break up the market into consumer, commercial, and then government. Yep. We've seen a lot of AI interspersed into everyday applications, right? Like X, all the properties from Meta, Apple, even though it hasn't had a great start, is injecting that as well. But we see that mass adoption of enterprise AI is probably a couple years away.
Yep.
First implementations will be through enterprise SaaS. Second applications will be homegrown. And you know, Daniel, like we've seen in every huge wave, there's this insatiable appetite to change something dramatically, and whether it's agents replacing enterprise SaaS, which probably is a 5 to 10 year run, because data is the biggest issue. So I'm looking for affirmation, not in the nitty gritty here, because we have leaders here, but bouncing ideas across these leaders to get feedback from them.
Yeah, a lot of prudent to grow is what I call, like this 4 trillion of labor taken out. Ideally, like every revolution, you see an insertion of effort that creates more productivity.
Sure.
So we don't only want to see cutting, but I think what we're seeing is that there are these kind of monotonous, redundant roles, and originally it was always blue collar roles.
Right.
Now we're seeing it in the white collar roles, like these knowledge roles that can be replaced or augmented by agents, creating huge amounts of scale. But now we want to hear, nobody wants to hear a whole bunch of CEOs talking about cutting costs.
Sure.
That doesn't make happen. We want to hear about creating more opportunity, more productivity, more jobs.
Yeah, and I think that is the reality. I mean, if I look at back, even desktop publishing in the 80s was going to get rid of all the creatives, okay? And then the iPhone was going to eliminate the need for all of these jobs.
What no more cameras.
No, exactly.
No more
Here we go.
cameras.
Hello, crew. But if you look at it, what it did is it empowered more people to do more, but the pros did more professional stuff.
Yep.
They did less monotonous work. They focused on even stuff that they like to do, and that's the way that I think that this one is going to play out. We do need to have reskilling. That is a basis, as we saw in the Midwest, hence the Rust Belt. If you don't train people for the next wave of jobs, it does have some very dire consequences.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here, Pat.
Yeah.
I think you and I are going to come back. We're going to have a number of great conversations this week. We're talking to, Jan LeCun is set up with us to talk at Meta. We're going to talk to Chuck Robbins, CEO at Cisco.
Sure.
We've got several other panels. We're launching our big research in partnership with Kearney here at the event.
Yeah.
We're sitting on panels. You and I are going to divide and conquer some stuff. If you want to see everything, you're going to have to stay with us throughout the week, everybody. Hopefully you'll subscribe. You'll be part of the Davos journey. And the newbie here will have to come back and say, did he fall on his sword and say it's worth coming? I mean, he's at least feeling it now, because you had to go back. If you look back, I mean, maybe we can actually pull up some of those tweets.
Yeah.
This guy said some really pretty spotty, some really questionable stuff.
I did, look him up.
He's coming around.
I didn't delete them.
He's seeing all the tech here. He knows it's great to be here. It's great that you're here with us. Thanks so much for being part of the 6.5 community, Futurum, Moor Insights, and hanging out with Pat and I here in Davos. We'll see you all in a bit.